I want you to imagine that you suddenly became rich overnight. Maybe one of your investments went to the moon, a side hustle you started took off, you got a large inheritance, or you won the lottery. Believe it or not, many of you will find yourself in one of these scenarios, so this video was recommended to you for a reason. Let's take the most unlikely option, winning the lottery. This channel's had over 1.5 billion views. Statistically, that's enough that a few of you have already won the jackpot on the lottery, and the odds say at least a couple more of you watching right now will win in the future. So that's a good thing, right? Well, actually, when you suddenly get rich, you're far more likely to lose friends and family, have a greater risk of substance abuse, and finally, divorce. Most people who get rich fast have never actually built wealth before and have absolutely no idea how to manage everything. So here are the 7 things you need to do when you suddenly get rich, from a millionaire businessman. I know it might be tempting to go screaming it from the rooftops and rubbing it in your enemies' faces, but the absolute best move is staying as quiet as possible and telling no one. Privacy is really your main priority at this point. You want to be what is known as stealth rich. A man named Jack Whittaker won $314.9 million from the Powerball in 2002. At the time, it was the largest jackpot ever won by a single ticket. He was the opposite of stealth rich. He went around telling everyone and even became famous for giving money to strangers who asked him for help. He gave away millions to the church and even bought his friends new cars and houses. Now, you're probably thinking he sounds like a lovely guy, maybe a bit silly, but he had a good heart. Well, that couldn't be further from the truth. His wife divorced him, friends abandoned him, and his granddaughter, who he spoiled with money, tragically died from an overdose. He later admitted that being too much of a nice guy destroyed both his fortune and his family. So now you understand the importance of being stealth rich, but how do you actually do it? Even if you keep this as quiet as possible, some people will still suspect you. It's like those TikToks that say, "I won't tell anyone when I become rich, but there will be signs." This means you'll become far more likely to get robbed, sued, blackmailed, or scammed. Once people know you have money, they descend like vultures. Trust me, I've experienced it. They say money changes people, but in truth, money reveals who they really are. The only person you should tell is an attorney. Make sure you get a good one that specializes in trust and estate planning. A trust can save millions in taxes and provide a strong layer of privacy. A lot of people will tell you not to quit your job. However, I disagree. If your job isn't bringing you satisfaction, then quit the job. Don't quit working, but quit that job. You could even wait for the perfect moment when your boss is pulling a power trip, and then quit gloriously. But please, go and find another job that you actually enjoy, at least for a bit. When people quit working entirely, all they have to think about is how they're going to spend their money. Many end up starting a random business they know nothing about because they're bored and have the money to do it. Some people even buy restaurants and end up on kitchen nightmares. Being rich and bored is a dangerous combination. If you're working, you're not spending. So keep your life as normal as possible for at least 6 months. You need time to process having all this money and resist the temptation to waste it. You might think debt doesn't matter anymore. You're rich now, so why worry? But these debts can quickly start eating into your fortune. Focus on paying back your highest interest rate debts first. Credit cards are the main culprit, often with 20 to 30% interest. Then you have car loans and personal loans. Clear them if the rates are high. Finally, there's the mortgage. Paying off your house might feel smart, but if it's low interest debt, around 2 to 3%, it can be better to keep it and invest instead. Investments can yield higher returns, offsetting that small cost. Clearing high-interest debt is a guaranteed return, unlike investing which fluctuates. Use this as your reset button, and once you're out of debt, promise yourself not to fall back in. When you become rich suddenly, people close to you often feel entitled to a share. They'll ask for loans they never plan to repay or pitch business ideas that need your money. The fastest way to lose friends and family is to lend them money. Don't do it. If someone you care about truly needs help, give them the money without expecting it back, on one condition: they never ask again. That's how you protect both your finances and your relationships. Sometimes being firm is the kindest thing you can do. Most people who get rich quickly still have a consumer mindset. They think about how to spend, not how to grow. I've seen people win millions and lose it all within years because they didn't understand one rule: never spend the principal, only the interest. Your goal is to grow a money tree that produces income every month, not chop it down for short-term pleasure. Work out your freedom figure. Decide how much you need each year to live comfortably, then multiply that number by 25. For example, if you want $200,000 per year, you need $5 million invested. You live on the interest, not the capital. That's financial freedom. To reach that goal, you need an investment portfolio, not a bank account. Here's an example of how to allocate $5 million wisely. Put $1 million in a low-cost total stock market index fund. This is your growth engine, averaging around 9% annually long-term. Put $1 million in a total bond market index fund. Bonds are safer and yield around 4% annually. Put $1 million into real estate, split between residential and commercial. Allocate $500,000 to blue-chip crypto like Bitcoin or Ethereum for potential upside, but treat it as a small-risk investment. Keep $1 million in a high-interest savings account for stability and liquidity. Altogether, that portfolio could generate about $300,000 a year in passive income if markets perform close to historical averages. Finally, set aside $500,000 as fun money. Use it for what you love. True wealth isn't about luxury cars or mansions. It's about freedom. Real wealth means waking up and choosing how to spend your day. Don't be like those lottery winners who chase possessions